On April 4th, 2004, I was there. In the summer of 2003, a group of people from San Jose bought the Albany Attack and moved them out west. On the day after my birthday in the same year, a high school kid won a Name the Team contest, and a new yet brief endeavor would begin in the Silicon Valley. Having a lacrosse team. The San Jose Stealth of the National Lacrosse League, a major indoor lacrosse league, would begin play in the 2004 season. They were one of 3 teams to relocate to the west that year. What does this have to do with anything? Well, less than 24 hours before the opening face-off of this game, I took my date with me and got stellar seats behind the penalty box at a good price. To see something I've never seen before, a lacrosse game. It was an exciting, fast-paced, high-scoring game that needed overtime. The Stealth came out on top, defeating the Calgary Roughnecks 14-13. I was hoping for the same excitement the next afternoon. In the grand scheme of things, this was a throwaway game. Nothing was on the line. The Sharks far exceeded my expectations in the 2003-04 season. At the beginning of the season, I said, I don't care how they do, as long as they make the playoffs. The Sharks did that and then some, winning their second Pacific Division in 3 seasons, breaking the 100-point mark for the first time in franchise history, and locking up the second seed of the Western Conference. They would be facing the Los Angeles Kings, a team that had nothing to play for but pride. It had been a while since I saw these 2 California rivals in person. In March of 2001, I would see the Sharks come back from 2 goals down to beat the Kings in overtime the night after I found out my dad passed away. It would be a special Sunday afternoon season finale and Fan Appreciation Day. As I have probably said on a previous video somewhere, sometimes games that don't mean anything can be just as entertaining. The Sharks were looking to end on a high note after their 5-game winning streak was snapped 2 days earlier. That would include a game I already did a video on. I would be sitting in my familiar seat in section 209. Starting goalie for the Kings was Roman Cechmanek. This game would be the final time he would put on the pads in the NHL. A brief 4 seasons in the league with the Flyers and the Kings. During the lockout in 2004-05, Cechmanek would return to playing professionally in the Czech Republic, where he thrived before playing in the NHL, winning 5 championships and an Olympic gold medal with Dominik Hasek in 1998. Cechmanek would finish out his career in Europe, playing 7 seasons in the Czech League, the Deutsche Eishockey Liga in Germany, and the Swedish Elite League. His short time in the NHL didn't go unnoticed, playing in the 2001 All-Star Game during his first season in the NHL. He would go on to share the William Jennings Trophy in 2003 with his Flyer teammate Robert Esche and the Devils' Martin Brodeur. After 7 seasons playing in Europe after his time in the NHL, Cechmanek would retire in 2009. This next part won't take long. The Sharks decided to go with Evgeny Nabokov, probably to get him prepared for the playoffs. I already went over his highlights for the 2003-04 season in the last Sharks-related video. Let's get going. After 5 minutes into the first period, Aaron Miller would be called for the hyphenated penalty of obstruction holding, putting the Sharks on the power play. 15 seconds later, Alexander Koroluk would deflect a Nils Ekman shot past Cechmanek.
Sharks power play is on an 0 for 16 slide right now. And they score! Alexander Koroluk on the redirect of the shot by Nils Ekman, and it's 1-0.
Nice deflection. Nils Ekman gets the shot on the ice, sees the stick out by Alexander Koroluk.
Mike Rathje and the aforementioned Ekman got the assists. A little over 5 minutes later, Nabokov would get a little lax around his own net. That would allow Esa Pernes to set up Nathan Dempsey with a blast to tie the game.
Who fires it wide of the net? Kings with a chance. Dempsey scores! You could tell the Sharks were having trouble sorting the Kings out defensively on this shift, and it cost them as Dempsey ties it.
He just beats Brad Stewart, lifts the stick, watch. Lifts the stick, take the puck. Pernes finds Dempsey jumping in. Sharks can't recover quick enough on the defensive coverage, and Dempsey drills one.
The second period was quiet. A few penalties were called, but Nabokov and Cechmanek would keep the game level. Almost 6 minutes into the third period, the Kings would take the lead after Yaroslav Modry blew by Wayne Primo and scored on a wicked angle shot.
Coverage there. Not if you're the Kings, it was easy coverage for the Sharks.
Modry fakes and he got Primo to bite, blasts it and scores. Oh! What a shot by Modry. He picks the top corner, not far away from where Dempsey scored in the first, and the Kings lead 2-1.
Primo goes for it, and watch this shot. Bang! Oh, is that a shot?
Martin Straka and Eric Belanger would tally a couple of points on the goal. 8 minutes later, the Kings would get some insurance. John Tripp would blast one by Nabokov for his first goal of the season. Congratulations.
That puck, that's incredible second effort. Oh, there it is right there.
They score.
Face-offs.
And it is 3-1, and now the Sharks are staring a 2-game losing streak.
Same spot, upstairs, glove side. Upstairs, glove side. I don't think Nabokov sees his, and there's just shot by John Tripp. First goal of the season. We said first NHL.
No.
Pernas provided the assist after winning the face-off. A quick fun fact on Tripp's goal. This would be one of 2 goals he would score in the NHL, so it was starting to look hopeless. The best the Sharks could do is lose by 1. Oh, and Luc Robitaille was called for holding with less than 2 minutes left. The Sharks pulled Nabokov so they would have a 2-man advantage in a way. Maybe the Sharks could keep it close with the power play goal. Right, Brad Stewart?
This time off the draw, back to Stewart. Score!
In front of the net. Watch the work in front of the net. Jonathan Chichu, I do believe it's Jonathan in front of the net. Now, does he tip this? I don't think so. I think that just goes straight in, but Jonathan Chichu adds to some problems.
Ekman and Alan McCauley provided the assist on the power play goal. At least this was going to be close. I couldn't fault them for trying. That was a mindset I had with time running out. After the goal, the Sharks would keep their net empty. If they were going to lose on Fan Appreciation Day, they were going down swinging. It all started with Tom Pricing laying down and keeping the puck in the zone.
Corlew, out high, Pricing diving. He'll keep it into Corlew. 6 seconds left. Here's Doppus to the net. They go! They have done it again! They have tied the hockey game with 2.3 seconds left.
This looks like it's out of his zone. Tom Pricing with the diving play. Alexander Corlew really hustles, gets the puck back. Kings overcommit high. That allows the lane to the net. Nobody picks up Stewart. What a feed.
McCauley and Vinny Damphus would get the assist on that goal that got me jumping out of my usual seat and screaming my head off. I'm also giving an unofficial assist to Pricing. I don't care, this is my show. I'll give out extra assists if I want to. New life was injected into the building, and all it took was 2 goals in 17 seconds. I even adopted a new nickname for Czechmanek as a send-off in his final NHL game, but the battle wasn't over yet. Somebody had to win. Even if it was the visitors, somebody had to win this game. This couldn't end in a dreaded tie. I already went to one of those in mid-December. I would get my answer a little over 3 minutes later.
He's tied up by Nordstrom.
Waiting for some help there. Didn't get it. Now he did the smart thing, though. Brought it deep in the zone.
Doppus set, shoots, scores! And a magical season ends with more magic here at the Shark Tank. The Sharks win!
Crash the net away from the puck. Czechmanek can't see the shot because Patrick Marleau goes net. Scott Hannon, good play bringing the puck in the zone. Damphus delays. Now he's going to go up high. He knows what to do.
McCauley would pick up another assist, and so would Patrick Marleau. The note you read was true. My favorite Shark script starter hat I had since the late 1990s, gone. Maybe I did it in a fit of ecstasy, but I didn't care. After the game, Patrick Marleau addressed the crowd and gave us a semblance of hope that this team would go far in the 2004 Stanley Cup playoffs. The entire playoff run had the Sharks facing some familiar faces of playoffs past. In the first round, the Sharks drew the St. Louis Blues, a team that in 2001 avenged their upset loss to the Sharks in 2000 by knocking them out in 6 games. The Sharks made quick work of the Blues, winning the series in 5 games. In the conference semifinal, the Sharks would face the Avalanche for the 3rd time since 1999. The Avs had some leftovers from their 2001 Stanley Cup Championship team and featured the reunited Mighty Ducks duo of Paul Kariya and Teemu Selanne. The Sharks would surge to a 3-0 lead in the series. Then the next 2 games, the Avs would win in overtime. I know. The Sharks' loss in Game 5 would delay the kickoff of a SaberCats game I had tickets to against the New Orleans Voodoo. But the Sharks got it back on track and won Game 6 to avenge 2002. Wait, what? The Sharks actually won a Game 6? It would also eliminate a team? Well, that's not going to happen for the next 6 years. My prepaid Virgin cell phone blew up with friends calling me to talk about the Sharks advancing to the conference finals for the first time in franchise history.
playoff game. Here's Regier trying to throw it up the boards. 3 seconds left. The puck frozen on the board. And the Sharks win. What a finish here in San Jose.
In 1995, the Sharks began the Stanley Cup playoffs as a 7th seed, facing the 2nd-seeded Calgary Flames. 9 years later, the roles were reversed. The Sharks were the 2nd seed, and the Flames were the 6th seed. The Flames eliminated the President's Trophy winning Detroit Red Wings in the 2nd round to get to this point. That game I went to on March 25th would be a playoff preview that no one expected would come to pass. The former Sharks coach Daryl Sutter and former Sharks goaltender Mika Kiprusoff looking to exact revenge on the team that casted them out. It was a series that rendered home ice advantage meaningless. The Flames stole Game 1 in overtime and would continue to carry the momentum, handing the Sharks their 3rd straight playoff defeat at home in Game 2. When the scene shifted to Calgary, the Sharks got the momentum back, outscoring the Flames 7-2 at the Saddle Dome. Game 5, the road team would continue to have the upper hand as the Flames shell out the Sharks 3-0. Then in Game 6, the home team finally won a game in this series. Unfortunately, it was all Calgary needed to eliminate the Sharks and advance to their first Stanley Cup final since they won the Cup in 1989. I was inside the half-filled HP Pavilion for another watch party when the Sharks got eliminated. It would hurt watching this team get so far and not reach the final. It would be a long walk back to the car knowing that it wouldn't be the Sharks in the final. But I will say this, while it hurt, they did exceed my expectations that year. All I wanted them to do was try to make the playoffs. They got to places and did things the franchise had never done before. I couldn't be more proud of them that season, despite coming up short.
What happened in the 3rd period made this the greatest Sharks game I've ever seen when I was there on April 4th, 2004.
And the number 1 star of today's game, setting a San Jose franchise record for the quickest 2 goals in history, number 7, Brad Stewart.